Okay, all right. First road game, first SEC road game. Tough place to play. It'd be a good test for our team. You know, Mississippi State had an off week last week, so they had an extra week to prepare to get their guys healthy. Offensively, it starts with their quarterback. He's a true dual threat guy. He can really run. His last game, he had an excellent game, and you can see he's getting better defensively. They have a very good scheme. I think they're very good up front, led by A.J. Jefferson. I think he's an impact player. Been very impressive watching him on film. They're very good against the run, one of the top teams in the country stopping the run. Of course, obviously, we like to run the football. I think that'll be a big factor in the game. But it's going to be a good test. You know, we've talked about our team improving each week. We're going to have to do that again this week. You know, as far as our update is concerned, health-wise, Cameron Petway and Xavier Dampier will both be back. They both practiced Sunday, so we should be pretty healthy. And then, of course, Brandon Source yesterday was 100% correct with Malik Miller. He did have surgery, and he'll be back. It was successful. He'll be back here hopefully before the end of the year. Questions?
Well, you mentioned that the run defense for Mississippi State. How important is it for Sean to really get that pass game going and building on what you've been able to do downfield in these last two games?
Well, you know, we're going to have to stay balanced, and we have gotten better at that. You know, you got to, you know, we're a run play action team. We're playing our best. We're running the football and play action, but you know, we're going to have to do a good job protecting him. And they got some DBs that really stick on too and do a good job of that. So, you know, I think the big picture for us offensively, a key, is going to be able to run the football, but at the same time, be balanced.
The trio of true freshmen got multiple touches last week. How do you see them progress since the beginning of the season? Do you see them playing a bigger role?
Yeah, I think you'll see that group collectively each game being more and more involved. You know, we talked about early in the season them needing to have game experience to feel more comfortable so they wouldn't have to think and just react. And now that they're getting the ball in their hands, and you can see that they're getting more and more comfortable, and you know, their roles will grow as the season goes on.
Tell me about the decision to use Stanton kind of as a de facto tailback. What went into that?
Well, you know, he's really good with the ball in his hands, and you know, just his role. We're starting to find our roles better right now too, and he's real good with the ball in his hands, and you know, I think that could give us you know, a lot of flexibility moving forward the rest of the year with him at that position.
Coach, when you go this deep into the season before playing a road game, what do you guys do just to ensure that they're ready, particularly the young guys are ready?
Yeah, you know, that's a big factor. There's no doubt. This is kind of rare that we've had 5 home games. It's our first you know, road game. And the young guys is who you're always concerned about. You know, we'll do a good job with the things in practice as far as the crowd noise and everything that goes with that. That'll be a big focus this week to help with that.
Is Stanton working exclusively or mostly at running back?
He's kind of a dual role, but you'll see him more and more as the season goes on, being able to do that.
You guys, with putting the leak out for a little while, does that kind of make him a little bit more involved?
Yeah, there's no doubt. You know, just to give us a little more depth at that position. We've already kind of been evolving, going that way already. And, you know, it's real unfortunate with Malik. Malik was playing really good football, and he made some really good runs too. But, you know, Stanton will, you know, him and Cameron Martin will fill some of that role.
It seems like once or twice per game, Braden Smith, he finishes a block in a way that's almost humorous, just how far he goes with it.
Yeah.
Does it kind of surprise you how diligent he is?
Well, you know, he's you can see him improving, and you know, he has a lot of experience now, and he's very, very talented, and you know, he's got that finish mentality, and you're exactly right. He usually has a couple wow blocks, you know, each game.
Yes, how important for Braden and Kozan especially can they be for Xavier this week with everything that's going on around, you know, with the cowbells, all that stuff?
Yeah, you know, it's going to be a big communication week because they do have the cowbells, and now that they bowled that one end, it is louder than it used to be. So communication will definitely be a big part of this week. The fact that Xavier has experience, I think, will do nothing but help him. But those veteran guards, you know, around him, it'll do nothing but help.
Gus, beyond the playing experience that Sean has gained over the last year, how different is he going against Mississippi State this year than he was last year when he first started?
Well, I think it's all about experience. You know, he was still finding out about himself in college. We were still finding out about him when he made his first start last year, you know, against this group. And I thought he did some really good things. You know, he's a gutty guy, and just the experience factor of being able to run an offense, be able to you know, run the complete offense. I think that's probably the biggest factor.
How important, considering how good Jalen Harris has been as a blocker and running routes, to maybe try to get him more involved in the red zone, considering you've had a lot of success with the tight end in the red zone past
Well,
season?
you know, that's one of the things that, you know, we're evaluating. We started really last week, you know, the red zone, and you know, we were effective last week, but we got to keep building upon that. And that's, you know, like I said, it's either scheme or personnel, and each week, you know, you'll see some different things. So, you know, that could be a possibility, you know, down the road.
How's he developed?
He's getting better every week. You know, he played very well last week. Matter of fact, this whole year when he's been in there, he's done some very good things, and it's starting to click for him. He was very physical last week, and he's in a good spot.
Marcus Davis only had a handful of snaps this last game, and Ryan's playing in the same position. Just a deal where you guys kind of favor number 83 over him, or was he hurt?
Well, yeah, he has a few issues, you know, health-wise that you know, we're just wanting to be smart with him. But Marcus is one of our staple guys, you know, and you know, he'll be on the field, you know, more moving forward.
Yes, what have you seen out of Ryan Davis, though? The guy, I mean, it looks like he doesn't hesitate a whole lot, gets upfield. What's impressed you the most about his play?
Yeah, Ryan's starting to mature, and he's very good with the ball in his hands. He does go north-south, he hits it, and I just think you can see him each game getting more and more confidence. And this year is really his first year to really get quality playing time, and he's got some missability too. You know, he's very good laterally, and he's getting consistent catching the football.
You know, a lot of people, you know, stupid people like me are saying that maybe the linebackers were the weak link on the defense, but proven to maybe be one of the strengths. How important are those guys in their first road game going against a quarterback that's really mobile on the road?
Yeah, their quarterback is a very good downhill runner, and linebackers will be a factor. You know, Coach Williams has done a great job with that room, and our linebackers are done a very solid job with their run fits, playing downhill. You know, tackling well, and we're going to have to continue that. This will be a big test for that group, you know, also up front. Their quarterback run game is a big part of their offense, and their guy is a big guy, and he can really run, especially when he gets going downhill past the first level.
Yes, who are some of the other possibilities to return kickoffs? The running backs get a little thin down, carry on being out there. So.
Yeah, you know, Stanton Truett's a guy that, you know, he's been back there. Cameron Martin's a guy that's got a lot of reps in practice. We have confidence in both those guys, and Jason Smith's a guy that, you know, has got some reps back there too.
How much of a challenge is it preparing for their defense this year? Because like you guys, they're on their third coordinator in 3 years. Just how much of a change has it been to prepare for them each year with so many changes?
You know, each year's different, and you just gotta, you know, find out, you know, what their plan is and their scheme and their players, and you know, you can always go back. I mean, coordinators, no matter, you can always go back years in the past and see what matches up and all that. But they're a little bit different, but they're very good against the run. Their defensive front's very disruptive. You know, their linebackers have experience. They play downhill, and they put a lot of pressure on you. Very few people have been able to run the football this year on them, so you know that'll be a big challenge.
Coach, I wonder if you saw Jimbo Fisher's comments from yesterday. He commented and said that the rules in college football are skewed towards the offense. What a lot of offenses are allowed to do, he called illegal, and he specifically cited Auburn. I'm wondering the reaction to that.
I don't know. I think we do a good job playing within the rules.
How much is Cheryl Holmes getting from?
You know, I think you've seen him each game get more and more comfortable. You know, his completion percentage, I think each game gets better. He's been very efficient throwing the football. You know, I think you see him get more and more comfortable, and I think, you know, our players around him are getting more and more confidence with him too. And so I think we're starting to settle in. We got to keep improving, but we're starting to settle in, to kind of who we are offensively, and he's a big part of that.
Yeah, so he's a little over 70% since the first game, hasn't thrown an interception. Does that give you confidence to throw it a little bit more than maybe you would have?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Anytime you can protect the football and be efficient, and a lot of times it's been really good to get us in pace, and to pace throw too has been very good.
Because offensively, scoring 30 points was really kind of a staple for you guys the first 2.5 or so years. I know you've done it against Sun Belt teams this year, but it's been a minute since you scored 30 points in regulation in an SEC game.
Yeah.
Just how much confidence do you have that you're going to be able to do that not only this week, but just going forward the rest of the season?
Well, I think, kind of like I just said, I think we're starting to figure out who we are offensively. And I think we got a chance to keep improving. And, of course, that's one of our goals, to score that many points. And, we're still working towards that. But I feel confident we're going to continue to get better.
Because clearly, last week, the game was out of hand, and Franklin got in the game, but would you like to see him, or have you seen him each week kind of get more and more comfortable and maybe give him more responsibility in bigger games?
Yeah, there's no doubt John's starting to feel more comfortable. He's been getting all the 2 reps for, over a month now, so he's getting more comfortable. You could see him out there on the field, he's more comfortable, and so, yeah, we'll just see how the season goes, but he's always ready, and, he's improving.
But you guys are only averaging 34 yards in penalties. It's like first in the SEC, yards allowed in penalties. What do you attribute that to, and do you feel like that'll be challenged playing on the road with the Cowboys?
Yeah, of course, we're definitely proud of that stat. I think our coaches deserve a lot of credit, for that, and I think our players deserve a lot of credit for that, being disciplined, not beating ourselves, and that's really been a message that we, carried over in the off season and worked extremely hard at that. We got to keep doing that, and the longer you do that, usually good things will happen.
You guys got to play a lot of people in the second half. What did you see from the video? Some guys that played a lot this year.
Yeah, the blue group, which is our second group, got a lot of quality reps, and as far as depth wise, that does nothing but help you. But I really think specifically our blue offensive line, they've got in there 2 games, and as far as execution standpoint, both games have been a high level, and that's really what stood out to me.
I thought this last game was a very good one for Chandler, just from the physicality he showed. He was really knocking skulls out there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like he's taking a step forward as far as that goes?
I think so. Him and Jalen both are improving each week. That's a huge position in our offense. It needs to be a physical point of attack position. And I think you just see them both kind of getting more comfortable, both of them being their second year in the offense, just getting more, and we just got to continue to keep improving on that.
Yeah, so Chandler's been a guy that you looked at running the football some, but you didn't do that last week. Do you think it's important to let him kind of stay in that H-back role and not move around?
That's best case scenario, to not have to play 2 positions that are completely different. But, like we said in the offseason, to give us enough depth at tailback position. And he's a very good runner too. But, we're starting to settle in to kind of who we are now. And so, hopefully we can be more specific. But he's got the ability.
Gus, you mentioned that second-team offensive line, but you've been pretty lucky without major injury these last couple of years on the O-line. But did you like what Darius James kind of gave you as that second guy in case there's a major deal going on?
I thought Darius, of course he played against LSU when he was in there. He played well, and so his first start, I thought he really did some good things. I think that really helps us moving forward, with our depth and our confidence in him and his confidence in himself playing. I thought Austin Golson did an outstanding job moving to center, and they presented a lot of challenges with the different blitzes they did, and all the snaps were good, and I just think it was a really good thing moving forward with both those positions, getting that experience.
Gus, you mentioned having more confidence in Sean. Last week, of course, you kind of got the red zone issues fixed, but you were running the ball a lot down there. I think he only threw it twice, and then, of course, he had to scramble for a touchdown on the bootleg pass. But do you look to have a little more balance down there going forward?
If you really look at the history, when we've been really good at red zone offense, it was because we ran the football, and we were able to run the football in. I think that's where it's got to start, but at the same time, you've got to be efficient enough, especially when they know that you're throwing the football. That's when you that's when it really gets challenging. And, it's 3rd down and goal from the 6 to the 10. There's a good chance you're going to throw the football. That's really a big emphasis on, what we're doing moving forward. But at the same time, the run, play, action things down there, there's a time for all of it.